It's home time, it's home time. Lots of our followers who follow Green Fingered Hell and the vlogs and everything like that will be delighted to know that tomorrow, the next edition of Home Time, a skip is arriving. I am pushing on. It's the 1st of April. I love the first of things because the first of things suggests it's the start of things. And then the start of things means that if you haven't got things done by day 2 or 3, you're a failure. So I kind of hate the first of things as well as liking the first of things, because on the one hand it's a motivator and on the other it's a demoralizer. So there we go. Anyway, so the skip is arriving and we can proceed with things like clearing shit and maybe being able to get a kitchen garden, maybe getting a couple of raised beds up and things like that. Okay, so Maddie, Kiki, I'm going to use language now and you're going to tell me if I'm using it correctly.
Oh my God, Maddie.
You ready?
You did this to me yesterday. And the funny thing is, I knew what it meant.
Okay.
I bet you did. I did.
Beef ting, fam. Beef ting. Starting an argument, yeah?
Yeah.
How would you use it?
Don't start a beef ting.
Don't start a beef ting, fam. Fan. Don't start a beef ting, fam. Okay. Peng. I know what peng is. That's when you're good or attractive.
It's used now as leng.
Is it? Leng. What does leng mean?
It's the same thing.
Oh, right. So will it eventually kind of become meng?
No, just leng.
Deng. Bruv. Well, that's obvious.
Brother.
Blood.
Yeah, brother.
Same thing, innit?
What?
Sapnin. Blood. Sapnin.
Yeah, what's happening?
What's happening? Wagwan.
Hello.
Why is that hello? Hello, how are you? Apparently.
Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Apparently.
Hello, how are you? Wagwan. Roadman.
Yeah.
What does that
Man
mean?
of the road.
Man of the road. And so the Lancashire Police Station wipe board has as the definition of roadman, teenager who involves themselves in smoking weed, no education, puffer jacket and man bag, and they act hard on a bike.
Yeah, roadman.
That's what it actually says. In
That's what it says.
station.
Sexual relations, they ting.
Yeah.
They ting.
Well, ting is like thing.
Right. They're a
Don't
thing.
Say they ting. Yeah.
Oh, so they ting's like they're a thing.
Yeah.
So babe, me and you, are they ting?
Are we a team?
No, you're not ting.
Oh, we're not ting. Oh, right, we're just... Okay, here's a couple of others, though. Talking in code. Ali.
Ali?
Yeah. Expression of agreement.
Oh, yes.
Brexit.
Expression of agreement.
Apparently, Brexit is now being used
Yeah.
to suggest the destruction or abandonment of a relationship
Yeah, that's
on the
Yeah,
street.
That's so funny.
Brexit is like... It's massive, is it? Brexit. No, so you're Brexiting if you're breaking up. This is a good one. This is a good one. Bummage. What's bummage? Enjoyment, apparently.
people don't use bummage.
Crepes.
Yeah, shoes. Trainers.
Cunch. I said cunch.
Yeah.
Out of town. Dotty. Shotgun. Drapesin is extorting or intimidating.
Yeah.
Gasman.
Yeah.
What's that? Worthless male.
Yes, man.
Gasman is worthless male. That's not nice for gasmen, is it?
No.
All roadmen. Roadmen and gasmen get a
Roadmen
pop.
own the fact that they're a roadman.
Oh, right, so it's a cool thing.
Oh, it's a cool thing, yeah.
Oh, right. Jakes. Do you know what a Jake is? Do you know what a Jake is, Nat? It's a policeman, a police officer on foot. Oh my God, this is so good. Poomplex. A weak male. Poomplex.
Hardly anyone uses
Yeah, I think this
Rack.
is the police here.
Rack, £1,000. Skrilla,
Yeah.
money.
Madrilla.
Skrilla Madrilla.
Madrilla.
Standard. Expression of
That's
agreement.
standard,
Yeah, all right. Wavy.
Yeah, wavy's like, well, you know, wavy's like when you're high.
Oh, drunk or
But
high.
usually- No, high. So
Right.
it can be, it's usually described as when something's good, it's like, oh, that's wavy.
Ah, that's wavy. Am I wavy?
No.
I used to be very.
You're a
I used to be.
gas
I'm a gas. What do you mean I'm a gas man? I used to be very wavy.
I used to be
Worksy. I'm quite worksy. Diligent. I like the fact that there's street for diligent.
Diligent.
You're
They
worksy.
wouldn't use that as their...
Would they not? That wouldn't be seen as an attribute, no? And 24s. You're on the 24s. You're doing it 24s all day.
24/7.
There you go. Well, this is the Metropolitan Police are trying to get a grip on street slang, and so on their whiteboard they had it written like that, which is very funny. I'm so pleased. Oh, this is the police. I'm so pleased that the Lancashire Police Force are hanging with the kids.
Hang on, what did you call that?
A delightfully prepared salad.
He's eating salad.
A bowl full of green.
It's not just green though, it's got
Before I get help with
better in, tomato, cucumber. What is going on?
map on iPhone and go to Home Settings. Then tap your name.
Hey Siri,
Turn on patch.
shut up!
Yeah, man. Delicious, thank you.
Meanwhile,
But I feel kind of guilty eating feta salad because it's always the feta that makes it interesting.
Dad,
I'm just going to
meanwhile,
get you a plate to put some on the plate so you can eat the whole bowl.
meanwhile.
Oh my god.
God. Tell them how good this cake is, Maddie.
Cake
It's the
is
cheapest
so
cake. Is it
That's
Kiki
why it's so
discovered
good.
it? And I think it was a big problem when she did. It's flaggy, it's chemicals, it's never seen a butter or a sugar or anything. God knows what's in it. We're seeing just pure sugar, I think, and trans fats.
Pure
But
sugar and butter.
oh God, it's good. So soft. Cut into it, man. Oh, God, I love cheap plastic cake. It's so
Yeah, who
nice.
doesn't?
But people are always surprised when I say that, being a foodie.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about me, I've just got a shitload of grass to get through.
Hang on a minute, that's a bloody lovely salad. I'd choose that salad over that cake.
What? You weirdo, I don't know anyone who would do that.
No,
You wouldn't.
I
would you?
love salad. Oh no, I certainly would. I don't want
Yeah,
that
hang
cake.
on. You choose it over that cake because you know it's healthier. If you knew
But
that
if-
it wasn't healthy, you would choose that over
I
this.
genuinely, at this moment in time, fancy that salad.
If that
more
was
than
as
that
healthy as
salad.
this and that didn't do as much damage as it could do, you do
Yeah.
that.
But can I just say I genuinely do love salad.
Okay.
I get excited about that salad. I get really excited. It's got olive oil, yum, yum.
Are things that are sweet bad for us because we're not actually allowed to enjoy ourselves as humans?
No, it's because sugar is...
No, because nothing that tastes really nice is good for you.
That's so annoying.
It's so true.
I cook you really nice
No,
food
you've
all
got
the time.
delicious
There's
food.
no
Yeah,
but if
delicious
you
food,
think
but that's
about
nice
it-
food. But the really, really sort of
I don't-
chocolate
I'm really
and sweets
sorry,
and-
just because that's what you think, I don't agree. I don't agree. I mean, God, a gorgeous paella, a beautiful salad, a beautifully roasted chicken with sweet potatoes and
I don't
vegetables.
disagree
love
about
all
the
that.
meat and the fish.
No, some good stuff. Some stuff
Yeah.
that's good for you tastes good.
You know
Why
what
is
I'm
it that
saying?
every
Thing.
bad thing tastes way better? This tastes way better than a salad. And it's bad for you. and that's
You
good
wouldn't
for
sit
you.
and eat a salad just to have a really comfy, indulgent night on the sofa. You'd want to eat cake or a biscuit. And why can't the cake and the biscuit be good for you? Why? Who's decided
The
this?
sugar.
Who's
The
decided
sugar's
this?
just never going to be good for you.
The thing I do like about salads is when you get to this point, you get all the gooey bits, and you get it's like the bottom of this is the equivalent in salad land of the bottom of a bag of bottom of a bag of crisps when you get to the salty, crispy bits at the bottom. This is like that bit where you go, oh yeah, it's a bit salty and it's a bit gooey. When you first get a salad, it's like a really curly-haired, idiotic person sitting in front of you going, "Woo." Because now it's interesting.
Oh my God, look. Oh, this is such an expensive top.
I know, I think I
I've been sat here with this on, look. That's a peanut butter's dripped. Why don't I ever get a plate when I get toasted and peanut butter?
It's all over the computer. Babe, get it off the computer.
No, it's just on the edge. But don't go on about the computer like that. It's so annoying.
Yeah, but if you didn't have a computer...
Look at my top.
Has toffee sat on you? That's what it looks like.
Oh, bloody hell.
Don't make out like it's everyone else's fault.
It's everyone else's fault. Oh, shit. This is
I've
a
got-
very exciting thing that's happening here. Mark is sat down with me buying things for the house.
Okay.
He never ever does this.
I can't believe I'm actually... Does anyone else realise how expensive storage for your outdoor bins is?
We've just been looking and we're thinking
wood to
we
put
could
your
go
rubbish
to
in.
we could go to effing Paris for the
Well,
weekend.
no, hang on.
400 quid.
The cost of putting our dustbins into a wooden slatted box is more than both the flights of me and my mum to New York.
What is wrong with this country? Get it up. Let's show them.
I
You
can't
won't
get it up.
believe
I can't
it.
do it on demand.
I'm just going to turn the camera around because I want to show you this, guys. What?
I want to show you something else. This is something more interesting than slatted bin containers. Do you like these antique flower pots?
I love them. They look expensive.
They come with them. Well, they're £25 each.
Oh, we can't have them.
No, but if you got 4,
25
if you got
quid.
4 for 100.
Does anyone know anywhere that we can get something like this cheaper? Show them the bins. Show them the bins. Right, look at this, guys.
288 quid for that.
288 quid, that.
I mean,
Mind you, there is quite a lot of work in it when you think about it, Mark.
yeah, but I bet I have to construct the bloody thing when it gets here, so it's...
Yeah.
Oh my God,
still
oh my God.
haven't-
Nadia has certain nights where she, for some reason, DIY is at the forefront of her mind. And it stems from her dad, who likes to knock down walls and build fences and reconstruct things. But it's like, everywhere you look, you know, at the BBC, you have to do courses when you're filming about hazards and health and safety. Everywhere you look, there's like a red cross through a circle. You're just seeing hazards.
All I want is the hour back that was stolen from us on Sunday.
I know, we mentioned that last night.
I don't care. I've still not got over it. I don't like the fact that I keep thinking it's 5 o'clock and then it's 6 o'clock. I think it's 6 o'clock and it's 7 o'clock. I think it's 7 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock. And now I feel like a whole night, evening has been robbed from me. And I'm so exhausted.
Anyway, it's now Tuesday. Me and Nadia have still bemoaning the loss of that hour. I have gone to the physiotherapist because I've got a terrible injury in my foot. I have incredibly flat feet like hobbits, and I'm going to see if they can do anything about it, whether they can give me any orthotics. And then I'm trying to take full responsibility for my health solely without Nadia having to nag me. I'm heading to the gym in Streatham to sign up so I can regularly get into the weights room. So this is Mark trying to enact some self-engendered self-care without being nagged or moaned at, so that then I go, oh yeah, fine, and then I start moaning back. So anyway, so that's what I'm up to today. I'm trying to sort out my body, and then a little bit later on, I might attend to my mind. I've been looking after myself today. I took myself to the physiotherapist.
I don't know who you are anymore.
Had a sports massage. Started with a shave, then physiotherapist, who said basically I was running too many days in a row without doing any of the things that my dear wife was telling me to do, which was stretch, perhaps bring a bit of variety into the fitness that you're doing in a week, sitting on the floor and putting my leg on a roller. Is it called a roller? The thing that you do? Yeah. So anyway, all these things Nadia's been banging on
I think
about.
it's the thing that we just miss them. We miss out the most, isn't it? People go to the gym, run, do all these things, but eventually you will get injured if you don't stretch, and nobody wants to stretch. But stretching gives you nice, long, lean, strong muscles
I
as well.
agree.
It's not like it's a waste of time.
Well, no, she said, are you an impatient stretcher? I said, I'm not such an impatient stretcher that I
don't do
don't
it at
stretch. She said, when was the last time you actually stretched after a run? I said, about a year ago, and she looked horrified.
And you run
and she
every
said,
day.
and you were running every day for 6 to 9 months. Yes, she said, it is amazing
A miracle.
that you haven't done yourself an enormous injury.
Oh, Mark, did she?
Yeah. So I'm kind of lucky.
Subs, admit it. Do you exercise and never stretch? Just don't do it.
What is, yeah.
The thing is, what you don't realise is now, I know I'm becoming a yoga bore, but having gone so much, and I can still, and I've stretched out a lot, but I can still feel so much more that I need to unravel, I need to stretch, and I think, oh my God, what was I like before that? Because everything, as you get older, your shoulders, everything stiffens up. But if you start now, whatever your age, if you're 20 and you're listening, if you're 50 and you're listening, if you're 70 and you're listening, start today.
Which When Nanny Dies actually very good. I also weighed myself this morning, and I'm pleased to say that I'm back at 1310.
Oh, good.
which is a great basis
That's
point
great, babe.
from
How
which,
come you
so,
didn't tell me that?
striking while the iron's
That's
hot,
great news.
striking while the iron's hot, I took myself straight from the physio to our local gym that Nadia has also been telling me I would love, like, and even went so far as every time I said, but there's nowhere to park, but there's nowhere to park, but there's nowhere to park, she'd say, there's parking.
I would say every time I've looked it up on the website and there's parking, and every time Mark would say, well, you might have looked it up on the website, but there isn't any parking.
I've never been
And
on
do
a
you know
website.
what? He'd never actually looked.
No.
He just decided that there wasn't any parking.
So this is
His mum, and indeed Nanny Thelma, had this weird obsessional thinking where the only news there ever is about parking is bad news.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go anywhere and just have a nice time because you have to have the preamble of, well, of course the parking's going to be...
But you don't think like a driver. But the long and the short of all of this is, in an enormous fashion, I am saying on camera, you told me so.
Wow.
Not, you don't have to say, I told you so. I'm telling you, you told me so about everything. So you've been proven right in every department. So I've signed up to the gym, and I'm really excited about that.
I keep saying to you
Yeah.
that you're going to, when you eventually start going to yoga properly,
You're
going to say to me, why didn't I? Like you did with the running, took me a year and a half to get you running.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. What you're talking about now is going to happen again.
I think we need to start a new vlog called You Told Me So, in which I just repeatedly tell you, you're right.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
We
and
could do a whole Instagram series.
Could probably
I told
fill
ya.
it for years.
I told you.
Yeah, you're right.
No, we will do each other's.
But
'cause
I
you tell
am
me
willing.
stuff.
I am willing to admit when I'm wrong, and I'm admitting I've been wrong on all of this. So anyway, so it's been a morning of
Can I ask you a question?
shifting that.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Because let's be. Why?
Why what?
Why? Why do you
what?
always just?
This is what
routinely
women
just
do.
disagree?
At the
No, no,
point
no.
that I've actually fallen on
No,
my
no,
sword,
no, no.
acknowledged all of my
No, no, no,
fallibilities
no,
and
no, no, you're
defects,
misunderstanding
we
me.
need to
I'm not saying
overanalyze
that.
it.
I'm not saying that.
I don't know why I
No,
do it.
because so that you can not do it the next time. What is it that makes you just go, that can't? That's not a possibility. That's not a possibility.
I don't know. Bloody mindedness. There you go. I mean, I can't really fall on my sword anymore.
I wasn't wanting you to fall on your sword anymore. I was looking into what are the reasons.
I don't know, it's
Because if you
pure
don't know the
bloody
reasons,
mindedness.
You'll just do exactly the same thing with the next thing.
It's not awkwardness. It's just, I don't know. I suppose it's always believing and choosing to believe that there's something of a more prioritizing. There's another priority somewhere else. And actually what I sat back and said to myself in New York was, unless I prioritize some of the stuff that Nadia said I need to prioritize, all other priorities aren't even priorities. They can't even be attended to. So it's about getting in. For example, I just spent an hour just then writing some creative stuff for the play that needs to be finished. And I don't feel I'd have got that done if I didn't feel I was sorting out all the other stuff, if you know what I mean. So it's about management of different departments. Look at this. Straight into the oven
And then after
into
that, we're
my
going to show
belly.
you something, vloggers, subbers, that you're going to be horrified by.
Nadia's got a terrible headache today, and I'm feeling
gonna
for her
take
because I
you-
had a terrible
We'll
headache
take you
yesterday.
upstairs and show you something.
Oh right.
that
Oh,
is
we're
gonna
not showing
become
them the
part of-
bathroom.
That's going to become part of our vlog.
Not the
It's
bathroom.
so bad.
Not the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's an enormous amount in the press today about vaginal mesh. What is this?
Oh, don't know. This is just
No, but what is it? I'm literally, as a layperson and as a man, I'm ashamed to say, I don't understand it. But there are women phoning up LBC.
This has been going on because this campaign's been going on for a while. Victoria Derbyshire has been basically I believe that it was used. My mum had an operation years ago. Do you know? Have you heard of a prolapse?
Yes.
When the womb drops.
Yeah.
So there's if you think of this, a piece of mesh that they were putting across. Oh, actually. Oh no, it's not. It's for people that had incontinence, probably, and prolapses.
Well, someone said on the radio
Yeah.
today that they also use it for hernias. So some men are coming
Yeah,
forward now.
yeah.
And I think the reason it's in the press today is typical. Now men are complaining about it with hernias. It's getting more attention.
Well, Victoria Derbyshire's programme has been covering it, and it's been brilliant.
Right.
Basically, it's just a messed up bloody operation.
Oh, I see.
And women have been living, I mean, lives totally and
No.
utterly ruined.
I've never heard anything like it. I
Ruined.
mean,
Yeah,
there's
it's
women
heartbreaking.
crying on the phone to sort of all people.
Ruined lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the sentence makes me squint and go a bit funny because I think of the mesh that I use in the garden to keep animals off things, but apparently women are having to self-cut it.
Don't mind, it's so awful. I don't know if
So,
any of our subs have gone
Have
through
you?
this.
What? Yeah, I mean, I keep hearing about. Anyway, it's coming up in the press a lot at the moment, and I know it's been in the press quite a bit recently. But I have to be. I have to be honest. I've been totally ignorant as to what.
They haven't banned them yet.
Hey, they haven't banned them.
No.
Bloody hell. So, in my mission to be transformational with the garden, I've bought a box of something I know Nadia's going to be very, very excited by. You're going to be excited by this, Nad. You're going to be excited. So I'm going to show Nadia, even. I'm behind you.
Sofas.
Nad, come on.
No, it's going to be more onions.
Pardon?
It's going to be more onions.
It's not onions.
Can't bear any more disappointment. You always bring me boxes and then they're disappointing.
Not disappointing.
I'm already disappointed, it's too light.
Olive. Maggie. What is it?
Another boring present.
What is it?
That
You're so
will change
ungrateful.
our lives.
Stump killer.
Oh.
Go on, you get excited. Put it on your stumps.
Beg your pardon? What stumps have I got?
Little close of vignettes.
Can you hear him? Can you hear him?
Look,
Stumps have I got?
extra tough tree stump
Oh,
killer.
go away, Mark.
That is so weird.
Go away, babe. Go away. With the turquoisey blue.
Yawn.
What about pale pink?
Yawn. Who dictates that throws are more interesting than stump
What
killer?
I would really like is a new sofa, but we can't.
Stump killer.
Floating in pink.
Yeah, I like that. I like those.
Pale pink.
I like pale pink. I do like pale pink. Anyway, stump killer is going to transform our garden. It's going to transform our lives. Have I got PPI.com? We love that tune.
We buy anycom.com. I had olive in my mouth.
So at long last, we're getting the skip in. There it is. He's just measuring it up. And that's going to now be full of all the crap from that garden, so the kitchen garden can get a step closer. Yeah, thought it was never going to happen, didn't you? Thought it was going to never happen. I could, if I wanted to, it'd be a curious way to kill yourself, wouldn't it? To run underneath the skip as it was being put down. After being squished. There we go. I'm going to say look forward to filling it. The skip is here! That means your kitchen garden is a step closer. That means everything is a touch closer.
We have got a skip.
It's not a very big skip though.
Don't keep saying like that.
Why?
What did I say to you?
What did
I
you say?
said you have to find out what size it is.
Yeah, I've got
and
the
you
biggest.
measure it by the washing machine. You ask them how
Yeah,
many washing
I did.
machines.
I did.
How many washing machines does that skip take?
Well, enough for what we need it for.
How many washing machines?
I don't know.
You've got a bloody small
12
skip.
cubic yards. Do you want to come and see it?
No, because I know how small it's going to be.
Come and look through the window.
It's going to piss me off.
Why is it going to piss you off?
Because I said to you don't get a small one. It's going to end up costing 40 because we're going to need 3.
No, it's not. It's a skip. It's just right for everything we need it for.
What am I going to find? Beth. It's a nice cute skip.
It's what
Have you got any idea how much stuff we've got out there?
What stuff are you
any
thinking
idea?
of?
Just in the side there.
Yeah, but that's going to be broken down and then flattened along the bottom.
Okay. We need to get a professional skip filler in, that's all I can say.
Oh, flipping out, that defeats the purpose. I want to get going.
There's the bloody bloody paracetamol.
Yeah,
You're
no, I
looking
need
for them all
one. I
day.
need one. I need one.
You can't have one.
I want one.
No, you just want one because I want one.
I don't. I've got a headache like you. I feel like shit. I feel like I've been up all night partying.
So do I. It's not fair, neither of us drink. And we both feel like we had a bottle of red wine each last night, don't we?
Yeah.
I feel awful. You would ask me like you don't really want.
I do want to do it, but you are very, very specific about your...
When you used to really love me, when you used to be excited at all the different ways you could make it.
Nadia, you can choose to see someone doesn't love you in anything if you choose to... Hang on.
Listening!
If you choose to home it...
Listening! I'm not listening!
How would you like your tea, babe? Okay.
I do my own tea.
I'm doing your tea. How would you...
I'm going to do my own tea.
Oh, that's annoying. I'm by the kettle. Let me do it. Well, I'm doing normal tea. Normal human being tea, which is a tea bag with milk, rather than show it the...
You do tend to go over the top of the milk, babe.
Oh my
It's horrible.
God. Oh my God. The reason I can't stay romantic about your tea is you are forever critical and controlling of the way in which I make tea.
Well, having the tea that you want, it's not fair if that's called controlling.
Yeah, but you take the fun out of it because then when I've got mastered one version, you want a totally different version.
I know, it's because I'm contrary.
Yeah, contrary is it.
Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockles and pretty maids all in a row. And pretty maids all in a row. And pretty maids all in a row.
So is that oat milk or almond milk?
I don't know. I don't fancy either. Can I just have a little bit of normal milk, but just only a tiny bit?
Of course you can.
Do not disturb me. Do not disturb me. Do not disturb me. You shit. Oh no, you can't put that in, Mark. That was really bad. Don't. Don't. Oh my God, no, you can't put that in. Mark, stop it.
So does anyone else find that regardless of how little milk one uses, some tea bags have more potency than others? I.e., they'll deliver a darker, more caramelly tea colour. And sometimes you can get a tea bag that gives you no colour whatsoever, regardless of how much milk you use. That's the dilemma of making a cup of tea for Nads. Sometimes she asks for just water with lemon. Other times she asks for mint tea with no sweetener. Other times she asks for it with honey.
Bet you bottom dollar that tomorrow. Shall I get some Easter cushions?
What is an Easter cushion? What defines an Easter
Got a
cushion?
tick on it.
Oh, yeah, but then you'll have a bin liner with all the Easter cushions in going up to the loft when the Christmas cushion. Why do we have to
Come and show the sun.
Why do we have to have seasonal
Come and show the
cushions?
subs.
Why can't we just have cushions?
Show the subs.
That's very sweet.
Very sweet, it's a chicken.
Looks just like you.
The baby chicken.
What do you like? You love Easter, don't you?
A chicken.
Chicken.
Lay little egg for me.
Curious sound to a
Chick,
demonstration.
chick, chick, chick. Don't look at me. God, I've got my makeup on from
I
yesterday.
want one for my tea.
Chick,
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 chick. Is that
chick,
'cause you've had
chick,
cabbage?
chicken. No, I got rid of all that.
What, in yoga?
Yeah. It's a good job it wasn't a packed yoga. I found a space. Oh, it's very sweet. It's from Marks and Spencer. I love their seasonal cushions at Marks and Spencer, don't you guys? I love
Why
the
do we have to
season-
have seasonal cushions?
Well, I just thought that's quite sweet, just on that little...
That's such a girl thing.
I'm not going to get it, I'm just toying.
Have one. And then you can make
No.
it prominent when it's seasonal.
No.
And then it can go into hibernation behind the Christmas cushion.
What, and only get it out at Easter? Oh, like that kitten with smile on it. That's nice.
No, I've just realised
Oh, it's very
I've
nice.
desperately
Oh,
got to
it's
catch up with the
spicy.
Bay because I want to join Nadia in her reviews.
This is a very noisy household today. The girls are screaming upstairs.
Could say that.
I've never had a pair of curtains in my bedroom.
Yeah, and I wanted curtains for years because it meant we couldn't do anything in the lounge.
Can you believe it, guys? We've never had a pair of curtains.
Curtains mean one thing to me.
Mark,
What?
don't. Just stop.
Why?
Stop.
Stop what?
Whatever it is you're about to say, stop it.
I'm not about to say anything other than curtains.
Mark,
Curtains.
Mark!
Curtains mean one thing.
I mean it. Don't.
Net
Stop. Mark,
curtains.
The hear the back doors are open. Stop
I
it.
can only hear you. Net curtains means something a bit different.
God, here we go.
And blinds, you know you're in the presence of a classy woman with a blind. You know what I'm saying, guys? So what I tend to do, subs, is I tend to transplant the tea bag from my tea over to Nadia's tea right at the end for a bit of double dipping. And then you get a little bit more colour out for your milk, and she doesn't tend to go completely hysterical and say, "What's that? Looks a bit weak. Looks insipid." And that's when I'm paying extra attention to her tea.
It's so annoying.
Yes, you are
And they have
annoying.
a colour, but they don't call it a colour, so you don't know whether it's grey or white.
What do they call it?
Nothing. How can that be silver grey? And that's... Look at this, subs.
Hang on, look at this.
Look at this. That's silver grey, and that's silver grey.
Yeah, well, you can't really tell.
Oh, no, it's not. Stop
Look,
it.
babe.
Oh my God, that looks really good. Let me try it. Thank you. That's very good. Except of two things. One, could be a bit hotter. What? You've been over there hours, babe. It's gone up with my cousin. And two, very nice with biscuit.
That's not my fault. If I went silver fox grey, would you like that?
Yeah, I like grey hair.
Do you? Do you prefer grey hair to my hair?
No.
Babe, you look like an absolute lunatic with your Finnish dishwasher tabs and you craning over stuff. You're right.
Oh, I don't know what I'm buying.
What happens traditionally, babe, is you put it all in the checkout
And then I never
basket.
buy it.
and
Do you
then-
do that, subs? I go shopping and I never buy it. I've been here for an hour and I won't buy a thing.
Whenever I go on my computer and she's been on it, there's loads of baskets all full of little bits and bobs
That I never
do you know,
buy.
that you never buy.
You caught me.
What are you doing?
I thought I want some mushrooms. So I
They
put
look
the
nice.
whole box
I don't think you like mushrooms.
and I'm just going to eat them all. Do you think I'm pregnant?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God.
I'm
Guys,
going to burn my tongue.
hot olive oil, chop them in, garlic granules, salt. Do you want some, babe? Come on, have a little snack. They're delicious.
All right, in a minute.
I'll share my mushrooms with you, baby. That's
All
what
right,
I
yeah,
love
I
you.
like mushrooms with you. I like
Come on
anything
then,
with you.
come on, let's be having ya. Let's be having ya. I've just had a binge, a really bad binge.
Hey, there's Maddie. Look at you.
Oh wow, you look cool.
You look cool.
Oh my
Ready
God,
for your
it's
show?
so
No, she's
bright.
ready.
It's like
She's
you're
in
going to
costume.
school.
She's in costume for her show that she's in. And that's such good timing because, Maddie, I wanted to quickly get your opinion on Lupita N'Yongo. How would you describe Lupita N'Yongo's performance in Us?
Extraordinary.
You know, there's talk of her being
Oscar-worthy.
there's talk of her being nominated for an Oscar.
Is
but
she the woman from 12 Years a Slave?
that's the one, yeah, and she's also Black Panther.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of controversy going on that she caused offence to a charity that looks after people who have, or represents people who have a dysfunctioning larynx. There's some condition that she said she lent on the sound of people with this certain type of disability to perfect her voice. And she's
Playing what?
Well, no, when she's
Who's
the
she
evil
playing?
side of her.
Yeah.
Her voice
Evil
is
side.
like.
Oh,
Yeah,
just 'cause I didn't
she,
know what
oh
the
sorry,
character
she
was.
plays two characters and,
Right.
and the yeah
So
the,
her voice is the evil character is like, I want you.
yeah.
She speaks like that.
And she's come under fire because she didn't actually say she was inspired. She didn't use sort of thoughtless language like that. She just said in her research, she lent on the voices. But the inference being that, you know, I think the charities are sort of hurt that she sort of suggested.
So what have the charities have said?
Well, that, to suggest or infer that the sound of the voice is evil.
Being offensive as to
Yeah.
making people that actually have the condition embarrassed. And
Yeah.
it's
What do you
not-
think? Do you think that's...
I think it's a bit ridiculous, to be honest. It's unfair to her because it's not.
But I think everything in life is about intention.
Intentions.
And she didn't intend to
Yeah,
hurt. She didn't say,
No.
oh, I used those, those awful voices.
Okay, yeah, no, you go.
Bye,
mate.
darling.
Bye,
See you
sweetie.
later.
Have fun.
Those that awful voice that people have with that condition. It was so perfect because I was playing. It wasn't like
Yeah,
that.
it wasn't like she said, I'm playing an evil character, therefore
No.
I'll use the voice of someone who's got a terrible condition.
I mean, I do think more and more, and obviously we know that this from doing YouTube, from our YouTube channel, that we have to think and then think again sometimes when we've said stuff, don't we? And the same with On Loose Women, we have to be so. But I worry that we're crossing over into an area where we're having to be so careful that who are we all going to become?
Well,
We become so vanilla.
working as a program maker for broadcasters, I am duty and legally bound to make sure that programs are representative and that you observe all the rules of legal compliance and you don't, marginalise or defame or criticize any members of society. So it's an incredibly tricky thing, and actually we underestimate how much we're aware of that when we're running the YouTube channel. There'll occasionally be something that I say that would sound outrageous if we ran it, so I will cut it. Sometimes.
Yeah, because I would say, though your intention, or any of us, wasn't evil or thing, we will guaranteed somebody will pick up on it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, if somebody intentionally says something to be hurtful or prejudiced, that's a different thing. But
I do get to a point where I think that
if you're just discussing stuff.
But I think if you can get to a point where everyone can be offended. For
Yeah.
example, I posted a film today where I was genuinely hugging Toffee.
Yeah.
And she genuinely bit back. Now, a lot of people have commented, you were teasing her. Genuinely wasn't.
Because she does that sound
She
all
does
the
that sound
time.
all the
She
time.
does that sound anyway. It's one
So I
of
was
her.
genuinely hugging her and she got there very quickly. And then a lot of people saying, you're clearly teasing the dog. Now, the thing about that is, you can't please all the people all the time. And everyone has the right and reserves the right to be offended by everything. That's a democracy. So I do worry slightly. I do feel for Lupita N'Yongo. She has come out saying she meant no offence, and I think absolutely her intention was no offence whatsoever.
She wouldn't have meant anything.
She's a woman who's even spoken about her own experiences of marginalisation due to her skin colour and gender. So she's hardly going to.
Awful that that's been said today.
So I think she's getting a bit of a tough time. And
I know from a lot of we're really lucky. I think we have one of the best communities of anyone that I've seen on YouTube, because we very rarely get.
We very rarely show what I'm saying. That's awful.
We like it when people have different opinions to us. Don't get us wrong, and we'll answer them. But I never answer anyone that's rude or offensive because I just don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
But we like the thought of having different opinions and having that banter with you sometimes and that chat with you.
What is happening tonight for our home time? I've got to see The Bay at some point, and you've got to do a hit.
Not tonight. The Bay's not tonight.
I've got to catch up.
Oh.
I need to catch
Well, luckily my hit's only 7 minutes, and I always do it in front of the telly. But now I've just had a massive binge. But guess what on? Not chocolate. Pears.
That's all right, isn't it? Pears.
Oh, so nice. Conference pears at the moment,
I love
guys.
conference
They're
pears.
in season.
They're always the best.
Bloody
Conference are always
gorgeous.
the
They're
best.
the ones I like.
They're the only pears that are worth having. Why do you always buy the other ones?
So I'm
then?
too full now. I buy them by accident.
Oh.
I'm too full now to do my hit, so I'll be doing that in a while.
So I'm going to watch The Bay at some point, 2 episodes of, so I can catch up and join in. Because I felt a bit left out, actually, of the reviews the last couple of nights. You did a really good job, and you clearly don't need me. You're not saying anything.
No,
and we're about to do a trailer review, really good trailer review, so you'll probably have seen that before this goes out. And what was the other thing I was going to say?
we're nearly at 60,000.
Nearly at 60,000?
Please tell your friends at work to join us.
And we haven't forgotten about the thing for the 50,000. We've just been waiting for a date. So
I don't even know what this is.
She doesn't know it's a surprise, but you know, and we know, and I know. And if you don't know, go back and check
Maybe
when we
it's
hit
not one of your
50,000.
terrible surprises.
Like what?
Like another box of onions or something.
I got Tree Trump Killer, and she wasn't interested.
Oh, the worst surprises. The word surprise now with you has become meaningless.
Oh my God.
Because it's always awful.
That's shocking.
I mean, it is. It's
The
always
word surprise.
onion bulbs. So the bulbs for the garden.
Do you remember a long time ago when I did a herb garden, or I started to do a herb garden, you said it was one of the most romantic things I'd ever done for
But
you?
you haven't done that. You keep giving me
Yeah,
bulbs.
bulbs and onions and all that
I'm
sort of
never
stuff.
going to get excited about a box of bulbs. I've got to be honest, babe.
Palm trees?
Palm trees, I love my palm trees. Where are they?
They're outside replacing where the
That was nice.
Christmas trees were.
Come on, let's do this trail.
Of course, here in the UK, we are caught in the centre of Brexit, and on television there's been nothing other than a close-up of number 10 Downing Street for approximately the last 16 days.
She's going to make a statement.
She's going to make a statement. Everything in my waters is saying something seismic is going to be said today. I can feel it. I think there's going to be an election. That's been my hunch, is she's going to call an election. And that's going to be her reason for going to the EU for a delay, not a referendum, because the election will function as a referendum.
What do you mean?
Because she knows that the Labour Party will implode from the inside too if they have to have a full party policy on whether to stay in Europe or not. So that's good for them. The Tory party will go into sort of civil war of sorts, but, you know, they can still... I'm telling you now, watch this space, it's going to be an election. And in a minute, when they've announced it, I'll come on screen and tell you if I was right or wrong. Do you like my broken headphones whilst I'm editing?
I know there are some who are so fed up with delay and endless arguments that they would like to leave with no deal next week.
Ooh.
I've always been clear that we could make a success of no deal in the long term. It is putting members of Parliament and everyone else under immense pressure, and it is doing damage to our politics. The ideal outcome of this process would be to agree an approach on a future relationship that delivers on the result of the referendum.
Basically nothing's changed. That's taken 9 hours locked behind doors to come up with this hogwash. I feel we need something to take us away from this Brexit hell. It's like living in a horror film.
It's like...
In, out, in, out,
It's just...
in, out.
Oh my God, I think we're all just exasperated,
Well,
aren't we?
if I'm really honest, I think I'm going to lay my cards on the table. I'm worried that the huge swathes of the very people that were encouraged to vote Brexit don't realise that all of these very posh people who keep going on about it's fine to crash out on World Trade Organization, does anyone realise that the WTO terms are a safety net for countries that have no World Trade Organization?
Oh, right, okay.
These are the no-deal terms that everyone keeps now sort of almost pretending are preferable. This is a system, a safety net to help countries that have no other choices and are in crisis. This isn't an option. This isn't an option. It's a safety net. And it's now being promoted as a preferable deal. It just isn't. And you've already seen Ford are promising to come out of Britain after 100 years. Who's going to be most affected if Ford pull out? Not the chief executive, who's probably got a penthouse suite in Monaco. All the factory workers who are probably encouraged to vote Brexit by their local politicians. It's
I have to say...
sacrilegious.
I have to say, just seeing the man who runs Ford talking actually and saying, you know, we like it here, we've been here 100 years, but we're going to have, if it's a no deal, we're going to have to break. And you think, hang on a minute, Ford leaving after 100 years to go to another country.
And they're just one of many. That you know, I'm plugged into a lot of the companies that all the business community are screaming not to leave, or at least even if we leave, they're saying make sure it's done in a very controlled and measured and orderly fashion. I'm not saying that we don't observe even the result of the referendum. I'm saying you can't just say yes, let's drive off a cliff edge because we said we'd drive off a cliff edge. It's madness. Madness. And there are times where I think Theresa May's doing a really good job of navigating an impossible situation, and then there are other times where I just want to throw her off the cliff edge.
Were you banging your meat?
I'm doing poor man's Vagamamas. So I've got brown rice noodles bubbling in there.
Am I having a bit of this?
Yeah. So in the flour I've got salt, pepper, and garlic granules. Then into the egg. Then into not just any old breadcrumbs, oh, did I do both sides? Oh shit. I didn't do the other side with the egg. No, that's all right.
Are there some things you can do when cooking that are illegal? Like, would it be illegal to put naked meat on salt and then feed it to someone? Could you be accused of killing someone?
Babe, be careful with just being too stupid. Is it illegal to put a naked dead person to be eaten? Yes.
What did you say that?
What were you saying?
a naked piece of chicken meat in salt? Could it be seen as illegal? You know how there are health and safety rules in workplaces? Are there certain
of course
things?
there's health and safety in
Yeah.
food. You couldn't serve someone raw chicken.
So
because
whilst
you
it
would kill them.
Yeah, so whilst it would be illegal in a restaurant if someone served it and it killed a punter, do the same rules apply at home?
Yes, if you poison someone on purpose, yeah, it's illegal, believe it or not.
But even, okay, so you poison me by accident because you've put the chicken in the
poison
wrong...
you on purpose in a minute.
I'm just curious to know where the line of law lies.
Oh my God, how your mother got through your childhood.
Well, she didn't, did she? She threw me against sofas and forgot me and left me outside shops.
Yeah, so then you just fry it, get the oil hot. I wish I'd done it a bit thinner actually. If you're a fairly new cook, just bash out the chicken till it's really thin. Because
Just
then
what?
The chicken. Bash out the chicken till it's really thin. Because then you're not gonna have the problem of it burning on the outside and not being cooked in the middle. The fat was too hot on mine, so I might end up doing that myself.
I love it when you bash the meat.
So quick,
But
isn't it?
the most important thing I'd always ask at Wagamama's is, can I have extra sauce?
There's no curry sauce.
What?
I'm not saying curry sauce, Dave.
What are we going to have on it?
That's just this, exactly. You don't need curry sauce in it.
Slightly...
Yeah, sriracha. How about that?
Eh?
Nice red
Sounds like a skin condition. Sriracha.
Sriracha.
I'm really worried my skip's too small, babe.
I'm not talking to you about that skip. I told you about that skip for about
7 cubic
months.
yards it is.
That you're going to be ordering a second one.
Oh, don't say that.
I don't know why you don't. You're really, really strange because for somebody that's really pedantic and obsessed with
pedantic.
detail, you'll do something like that without any research. Just order a skip.
I did
that's
research
like,
it. I went for the
tiny,
one that...
babe. I looked at it again. It's tiny.
It's the third size up. It's not like the tiny... There are two bigger sizes and they're for
It's
industrial
not about
housing
that.
estates.
You choose the size that you need. And we need a big one.
Need a bigger boat. We definitely need a bigger boat.
We need a bigger boat, mate.
I'm so tired. I'm beginning to think I'm coming down with something, babe. Are you coming down with something? I'm coming down with something. That was the most delicious dinner, by the way. We've just eaten it and we didn't even have a chance
So
to film
good.
it. It was like Wagamama's Premier League style-y.
It was like that wonderful moment. Kiki bit into. She went, "Oh, Mum, it's delicious." And I went, "It's better, isn't it, than Wagamama's?" Because the chicken definitely was. She went, "No." And I went, "No, but it is, isn't it? Because it is. It's really delicious."
No.
She went, "No."
Great thing about Kiki is she does not compromise her opinion on something just to keep you
No.
happy. A couple of things I was going to say. Nad, you don't realise it, but just these small boxes of tree stump killer are slow steps in the right direction to get in the garden you want. But here's something else that was in the papers today. There is now a vogue for biodegradable sex toys. They have...
What about biodegradable men that you could just put in the garden and bury them?
Well, all men are biodegradable in that
That's
sense.
true.
They have biodegradable condoms, they have eco-friendly lube, and they have biodegradable dildos.
How wonderful.
What do you think?
If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm answering all your Instagram posts.
She's not. She's looking at the prices of the biodegradable sex toys.
This is what I'm answering. Somebody just
See, she can be prudish about biodegradable sex toys, but she can put cock soup on her Instagram.
Yes. Hang on. Look. Cock soup or cock flavour soup. Some really funny messages. What is this? Hang on. This one I read here.
Would a biodegradable sex toy
I
make
think
you
it has
buy
to be cock flavoured soup. You don't want cock overload, do you?
Oh my God. Would you, if you had the
Can't
choice?
beat a bit of cock, says Ika Wella Wallabung. Soup. I like it. I know, here, what's this one? That was Charlotte Carter.
Okay, can I just ask you then, if you had the choice, would you go for a biodegradable sex toy or just a normal one?
Why are you talking to me about sex?
Because it's in the news today.
That we're talking.
Who let the dogs in? Ooh, 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 ooh. Who let the dogs in? Ooh, ooh. Come on. Well, that attempt at talking dirty didn't work.